Hello and welcome back to the PowerDrift Podcast.
Hello.
And in the first for the previous two podcasts,
Hmm.
we said that there'll be a lot of guests on the podcast, and people seem to enjoy that. And here we have another guest, Anushriya Gulati. And Anushriya Gulati, I know you should do the talking, but a brief introduction will be you're a racer, you love motorcycles, you own a Harley Davidson, and you've clocked a lot of kilometers. So we'll get to those parts of your life slowly by slowly. But why are you in Pune? First and foremost, tell us that.
So, hi, and thanks for having me here. I'm in Pune because I'm starting a ride tomorrow. So, a friend of mine, Sunita Kunjir, uh, she decided to do this ride, which is the Bara Jyotirling ride.
Okay.
And it starts tomorrow. So, we're doing phase one tomorrow, which is the first six Jyotirlings, not in particular order, but we're doing six of them. So, we're starting out tomorrow. And we're
Okay.
starting from Pune.
Okay. And you've already done one?
Yeah, we've done one.
Which one was that?
Krishneshwar.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many
Aurangabad.
kilometers is this going to go on for? And
So the first phase is about 4,800 kilometers, and the entire ride, which is the 12 Jyotirlings, is going to come up to, I would say, 8,500 kilometers, or anything between 7,500 and
you plan to
8,000.
do this in what, 3 months, 4 months?
No, so six of them we are finishing in 7 days, 8 days, and the next,
In 7, 8 days?
yeah. So we're doing two tomorrow.
Okay.
We're doing the Nasik one tomorrow and another one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so
So it's going to be like a really
about
quick
2 weeks for,
8,000 kilometers.
yeah,
Roughly about it.
roughly
That's a lot
about.
of riding.
Yeah.
We'll get your riding bit in a bit.
Yeah.
But I've always seen you around motorcycles and cars. How did you get into this space?
So riding happened for me when I was very young. I was about 15 and I was shooting. I was a .22 shooter and
Shooting.
yeah, pistol shooting, sports pistol. So I was shooting, and life meant that either, I'm home or I'm at the shooting range. I didn't. Any sports person, if you want to do it seriously, you don't really, I wouldn't say it's normal, but then you're so dedicated that there's not much that you're doing apart from that. So it was confined to be shuffling between the house and the shooting range. And my uncle, Ankush Gulati, he decided to, put me on a bike and teach me how to ride. So, yeah, I started riding when I was 15, but we have an age limit in this country.
Yeah.
So I didn't start riding on the roads till about 18. And on my 19th birthday, I got a Harley-Davidson Iron 83. And then
Which was the first motorcycle that you ever rode?
Royal Enfield Thunderbird 350.
Okay,
Yeah.
350.
Yeah.
Nice. And Mama was responsible for all of this.
Yes, he was responsible for it. Family had a lot of questions. A lot of people had a lot of questions, but it was
Yeah.
pretty controlled because he was a biker himself. And then
Yeah.
I'd always grown up seeing a bike at home. He tried teaching my mom how to ride. She didn't take to it. But yeah, I mean, she knows how to ride, but she never took to it. So bikes was not something which was out of the ordinary for me as such.
Why did you get attracted or attached to motorcycles?
So initially, I didn't take to it too well. And
Because you fell down or something?
no,
Okay.
I just, I was young and there was a lot, like, shooting meant a lot to me and I was more focused in shooting. So riding was very, okay, on a Sunday ride and that's about it. And that too, I'm waking up every single morning at 5 in the morning. One Sunday I get to sleep. I don't want to ride.
Correct.
So it was more like that. But then when I turned 19, I started riding. And then I started riding with the hog community and everything. And that's when I really liked it. And
So you've always been a Harley Davidson rider.
yes,
Your first motorcycle was the 883, and then you
Yes.
graduated to
the heritage.
straight up.
Yeah.
And you still have it? That's the motorcycle that you're still riding,
Yes.
no?
I still have it. No. So I'm riding a street light.
Street light, okay.
Yeah.
So
But-
IN 83,
Heritage and the street light special.
okay. How many kilometers did you clock on the 883?
Did about 60,000
On the 883?
883.
On how many kilometers on the Heritage?
80,000.
And you are at what?
Right
On the
now, I
street
am
light?
at 1,80,000.
Only on the street light?
No, no, no.
Totally?
So, totally.
Okay.
So, I had a street light before the ones I'm riding today. It was a cherry red, and I've done the maximum mileage on my street light.
That's crazy. So you ride quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is accumulated over 9 years. So, on next year in March, I complete 10 years on a Harley-Davidson.
That's amazing. And I think a lot of these kilometers have also been clocked because of the zonal rallies that
Yeah,
happen.
for sure.
So you try to visit what, every zonal rally?
So last year I was hardly riding, and before that I did the triple big five, which is all the 5 zonal rallies for 3 consecutive years. So I've done 5 consecutive years of that, and then it would have been my 6th year, which would have been a double triple, but then COVID happened.
Oh, okay.
So I try doing all of those. I do all the 21 365s. Then whatever challenges they do come up with, it is something that I like doing. So this year they've come up with the 75. So
What is that?
it's a special anniversary patch, the 75th year of independence.
Huh.
So it's riding to that. So we're riding to Bhubaneswar, Lucknow, whichever places come in our anthem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think you're. I mean, of course, you ride motorcycles, and I've seen you more times on a motorcycle than in a car, but you also drive cars
Yeah.
and you also race.
Yeah.
So, how did that start? And of course, we know the story of how motorcycling started for
Yeah.
you. But how did car start? Was Mamaji responsible?
Yes, he
Yes.
was, but not so much. So my motorcycles led me to cars. So the first time I was taken to track was for a motorcycle, and Vijay Thomas took me to track for the first time. He took me to BIC to ride bikes.
Okay.
So I went there with VT and Mama and Deepu and Vijay sir were training me, and I was supposed to ride bikes. Now I've gotten the track, learning and everything. In between all this, I got an opportunity to go for this talent hunt. One of the teams that I raced for organized a talent hunt.
Okay.
So I landed up over there. I was fond of
This was
go-karting.
when Kari?
This
Or-
was at Curry, yes.
Okay.
So I was always fond of karting. And on the picture, their flyer or creative, it had a go-kart made on it. So I said, okay, I want to go go-karting. And looks fun. So I land up over there and I see these Formula cars. And I'm like, okay, I'll need to, change gears. And I have always driven a automatic. And I was like, okay, I need to get out of here because I don't know what am I doing here anymore.
Correct.
But because of bikes, I think bikes and riding on track did give me an advantage. So I figured out, okay, first is here, second is here, third is here. And you know the note, right?
Correct.
Note is basic. It's same in the bike. And I came third in the talent hunt, made it to the team, was on a sponsorship because that was how it was planned.
Sure.
And started racing.
Okay.
So racing took a lot more of my time, and then biking took a backseat.
Backseat.
Yeah.
Is that also why you maybe put on a little less kilometers in the past 3-4 years?
So last year, yes, because last year I got selected for the Formula Woman drive. So it was a drive. So Formula Woman, a little about it is competitors all over the world. You could have prior racing experience or you could be novices.
Sure.
So they're separated in 2 different categories, blue and green. And then they compete, and they're competing for a free drive in the GT Cup, UK, the British GT Cup
Yeah, yeah,
Challenge,
yeah.
in McLaren 570S.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I went for that. So from India, the first selections, the first
You
phase.
did go for that, right?
Yeah, I did go for
Oh,
that. So I
that's
made it to the team. So the first selection happened in India. Made it to the top 3 over here, went to the UK, and then shootouts kept happening. So the second phase was, I think, go-karting. Third was a timed run. And fourth, which was something which I'd never done before, it was putting down a timing on snow. So I'd
Yeah.
never driven on snow before.
Okay. This is Finland, right?
This was Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
Yeah, this was Sweden.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that happened, and I made it to the team, which was top 4 lead drivers with 2 reserves. So I was one of the lead drivers. And then I was training and everything. So last year I was a lot in the UK and hardly in India.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then this year I'm not going ahead with that contract. In fact, last year itself,
Yeah.
I didn't go ahead.
You
with
don't
that.
want to pursue that?
As of today, because I didn't go ahead with that contract for various different reasons. Today, to go ahead with that, I do require a lot of sponsorship. There are a lot of things that go into it. I would love to do that, and I'm still working on next year. So
Okay.
the plan is in place. This year, I decided to race in India because rallying came up, and there was a lot going on in India, and it just didn't make sense, doing it in a rushed manner. There's a lot of training apart from just driving that goes in. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stay in India, prepare, be better ready with everything taken care of, and then.
So who are you racing for?
So in India, in LGB I'm racing for Dark Dawn Racing.
Okay.
It's a team owned by Afsar, and yeah, it's been quite a journey. It's a winning team, very
How was
competitive.
last season?
Last season was really good. We won the. Our drivers were first and second in the overall championship, and we won the team championship.
As well.
Yeah, you were there. So
I saw that. I think that was the grand finale as well.
yeah, that was the grand finale. That was
So
the last.
I'm going to ask you a super difficult question. What do you enjoy more, motorcycles or cars? It's not as difficult, but
It's
is
not
still
difficult. I
yeah.
mean, I know my answer, so no motorcycles.
You do enjoy motorcycles.
Yeah, I enjoy motorcycles.
What is that one thing that you enjoy about motorcycles?
If I put it in a very, very simple manner, when I'm riding a bike, I'm just literally riding a bike. There's nothing going on in my head. I'm not a racer, so there's no stress about that. I don't need to be worried about anything. So just the pure joy of, travel and seeing places and is another aspect of it. Just riding a bike and being one with a bike, I think that's something I really, really enjoy. And I look forward to it because it really clears my head.
Yeah.
So,
And with the
yeah.
number of kilometers also that you've clocked, which is pretty crazy when you go to see, have you faced anything out of the blue, something that was not very pleasant? Any experience like that? I'm sure you have.
I mean, everyone has their fair share of experiences on the road, but then they have that when they're driving cars as well, right? It's
Yeah.
not just in motorcycles. But, I get this question a lot that, they add the female element to it.
Yeah.
But any negative experiences? I mean, the only thing sometimes I feel is that because I'm riding a really big bike, so a lot of people who look at me cannot make out I'm a girl because my hair is tucked in. I don't want my hair getting spoiled. But
Okay.
yeah, but my hair is tucked in, so it's very hard to make out that a girl is riding. I think the general norm is no one even thinks that it's a girl. But just because they're big bikes, people want to see them. Kids want to see them. They want to
Take
capture them,
pictures
take
and-
pictures and everything. So I think cars get too close
Yeah.
in that, and then they're compromising on their safety as well as ours. And more so ours because we're on two wheels at the end of the day. One nick and we'll go flying.
Correct.
And yeah, so I feel apart from that, and nowadays it's a lot less. Earlier, it was very common that, you'd be requesting them, okay, now you've taken your pictures, now back off. But they want to race you on the roads and everything, stuff like that. But it is a free case.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's something that has me really riled up.
Nothing has happened so far.
Touch wood.
Yeah. Touch wood. Great.
Touch wood. I hope it's not happened to me, so I hope it doesn't happen to anyone. But yeah.
But anything positive?
Positive. So when
Any memory that made you smile? That still makes you smile, maybe?
So we did this ride. So I ride with the women and then I ride with my own group, right? So when I ride with the women, I ride with, this name comes up again, Sunita Kunjir a lot. She was
She's actually in the studio.
She's in the studio. So she was also the Ladies of Harley director and
Correct.
she planned this ride. So usually most of my rides are planned by her.
Okay.
Because I can ride.
Okay.
Planning aspect, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So she did plan this ride for the Ladies of Harley, and it was the Golden Quadrilateral. And we were doing it for the cause of that, India's got wonderful highways. It's, I think, the 7th longest in the world, connectivity-wise, and the GQ. And it's safe for women to actually be there and be riding. And, this notion that is India actually safe? Because a lot of people ask us that, how safe do you feel on the road? Because you're a girl at the end of the day. And we were just riding. We were 7 of us, and we were like, we're riding because it's safe, right? And when we did that ride, we would stop for breakfast, lunch, or whatever, our tea stops. And a lot of people would gather. We spoke to a lot of people, and, they would get their kids to come meet us or see the bikes and everything, and all the girls. And a lot of those women said, we wish our daughter ends up like you. And
That's amazing.
without us promoting our cause, we didn't need to promote our cause because, we were also doing it for Save the Girl Child, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and we visited the interiors and everything. So we went off the main highway and we were visiting a few times. We did visit the interiors. And a lot of those women said that we wish our girl also grows up to be this independent, travels around the country and is on a motorcycle. Like, you're defying norms. Then a lot of people So you get to talk to a lot of these people, and when they see it actually happen, because I don't think back in the day, if someone told me, okay, I came from a very different place, I was brought up where my mom also knew how to ride a bike. But what I've also understood is that biking is looked at as a, as a hobby that a man should have.
Sure.
Though I disagree with it, and I don't completely understand the whole notion because I've not faced it. But I know a lot of people have. So I think that changes when you see someone else do it.
Okay.
There's a huge difference between talking about it and not letting, talking and advocating for it. But then when they have an example, it makes a huge difference.
Sure. So, and it's great, yeah. I mean, it's not, I mean, sure, men, women, but at the end of the day, you're a part of the community.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Because I love seeing people on Sunday rides. Even if it's a short 150,
Yeah.
150, 20.
Yeah.
Great. You're on your motorcycle, you're enjoying your Sunday, you've decided to spend your Sunday with your
Yeah.
motorcycle. God, it's great
No,
fun.
now it's just a myth that women can't ride or
Yeah.
women don't ride.
Yeah.
The number of women
Yeah,
you
it's
see
crazy.
riding, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's nice.
They're commuters. If they're not traveling the length and breadth, they're still commuters. They can
Yeah.
still ride and probably handle a motorcycle
Yeah.
a lot better than
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
or anyone
And
for that matter.
one more thing that I would like to add here is that it's not just women riding, it's women riding responsibly.
Yeah,
And not just women, like people in general.
in general.
When you see people with helmets and going to office,
Yeah,
they might not have proper jackets or
Yeah.
everything, but basic gloves,
yeah,
really nice boots,
Yeah.
and a nice helmet.
Yeah.
That also makes me really happy.
exactly.
So that builds the community
Yeah.
as well.
And it's all positive changes now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Now
for
you've
sure.
traveled all across India. Yeah. Is there a place that you haven't been to but you would like to go to?
I've now been to Nagaland on my bike.
You have not been to Nagaland.
No. I've not been to Nagaland on my bike. I've not been to Sikkim on my bike.
Okay.
So, like,
But
yeah,
that you've done
area.
Arunachal and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Meghalaya
Meghalaya also. Basically, the Seven Sisters is still
is something that's
is
pending.
something which is pending. So
Anything
left.
that's left on the north, south,
No.
west, everything is done.
Everything's done. Touch wood.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
And any place that you would like to ride outside of the country?
Mm,
Have you ridden outside of India?
Bhutan, if that counts, yeah, which
Yeah,
it
sure.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
so
course it
Bhutan.
counts. Yeah. But anywhere else that you would like to go to?
Africa. I want to ride around Africa.
Yeah. They've got some
South
great
Africa.
trips.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I want to explore that place like properly on a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. What's next for you? In terms of motorcycles, are you planning to buy something else?
No.
Yeah. But you, Mama is a Pan Am.
Yeah, he rides a CVO and a Pan Am.
Okay. So, have you ever considered venturing into the world of ADVs? Because
I ride a
ADVs.
Pan Am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but your primary motorcycle is still a Glide.
It's still a Glide.
Yeah.
My heart belongs to the Glide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still ride the Pan Am.
I still ride the Pan Am.
What about cars and what about racing? What does the future look like for you?
In racing.
Yeah.
So,
Because that is something that is super difficult. Like racing as a hobby is a very expensive hobby.
Yeah.
You constantly need people to fund that hobby.
Exactly.
And you need to be exceptionally talented and devoted and dedicated. So how does that world look for you?
So, this year, I can tell you what my lineup for this year is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk too soon about next year because I have certain plans. But then
Yeah,
I think,
that's okay.
when you really talk about it,
Yeah, that's
I
completely
don't want to
fine.
jinx it.
Yeah.
But this year, so I'm doing the Indian National Rally Championship,
Okay.
INRC.
Sure.
So I am racing with Dark Dawn and my technical partner is Arka.
Okay.
So it doesn't get any better than that. So that looks very positive because with Arka's support and with their technical knowledge and experience and, Leela sir being hands down and Karna being there coaching and everything, it looks very, very positive.
What will you be driving?
I'll be driving a Polo.
Okay.
Yeah, a
That'll be
VW Polo.
spec. That'll be rally
Yeah,
spec.
INRC3.
Okay.
So I'm driving in the INRC3 category and that looks extremely positive. It looks positive driving wise because yes, Karna is going to be training. We've already started the training process and I'll be training end of the month again. So training wise, it's very positive. And again, car is prepared by Leela sir and Arka. So I know that's taken care of and then managed by Dark Dawn. So it doesn't get any better. So, once you have confidence in your back end team, because I believe that a race car is never driven by one person. It's like powered by so many people. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I can be completely ready, but if something goes wrong over there, or vice versa, they can give me an absolutely perfect car, which they always do. But if I don't perform, then it doesn't end up well for both of us. So INRC is happening. They've announced 7 rounds so
Sure.
far. 6 we are confirmed. Like 6 will for sure happen. We are done with Chennai already.
How was
The
Chennai for you?
Chennai for me, I did have a bit of an issue.
Technical?
Yeah, so I broke my right drive shaft on the first day, and then my left drive
Ooh.
shaft because of the pressure falling
Yeah.
on the other side. The next day, I broke my left drive shaft. But the championship is not over.
It's only one race.
It's only, moreover, I'm gonna like they count the best 4, right?
Sure.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so they anyway count the best 4. So these 4 look, I hope, and I want to believe I've got this under control. But rest at the end of the day, racing is talent, but it's also a lot of luck. So yeah, but I'm hoping for the best. I'm very mentally ready for it, which, because I'm feeling confident. Like I said, I'm feeling very confident about the other aspects of it, that I'm mentally ready for it. And then what happens, happens. But we are ready. So
Okay.
the next round is in Arunachal, which is from the 14th to the 16th of next
June.
month. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So next month is the rally of Arunachal. Then LGBF4 will start. That is starting in August. I'm racing with Dark Dawn again. Championship winning team, national champions for 8 out of 10 times. So cars are good, looking good. We had a testing. Everything's ready. We'll be testing again because now our testing starts for that, right? Before the season starts. So that's looking good. 4 rounds in that, and we should be
So it's
good.
going to be a
Yeah.
long season. So
Yeah.
season's already started, if I can call it that.
My rally season has already started.
So this will go on till how long now?
Rally season ends in November.
And so
November, December, yeah.
And even the
Depends if there's
circuit
no
racing will
no
end when?
date change. That will end in December. So that starts in August, and 4 rounds they are expecting. So the rough calendar that we've got, which is not 100% confirmed as yet, is that 3 rounds out of 4 are going to be at Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore. We don't know
Fourth's
about
going to be BIC. Hopefully.
either BIC or the new
Sure.
track in Coimbatore, or let's see. Because last year we raced at Hyderabad, which is the new street circuit.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah. So last year, our round 3 was there.
So it's a relatively long season. 7 months of, say, out of 12 go into racing.
Yeah.
So-
This year for me, because this year I'm doing the rally championship as well.
As
So
well.
I started rallying last year. I've done about 3 rallies so far, 3 or 4 rallies so far, and I've never done a whole season. So this year I'm doing the whole season. So that's why it is
How
longer.
has it been for you, rallying?
Last round was good, with despite all the technical difficulties. Like I said, I think my previous team was really good, but this new team, the kind of confidence just their existence instills in you is something different, because having that kind of, it's all under one roof, right?
Sure.
The person who's teaching you is racing with you. So
Sure.
I think that makes a huge difference, because you're meeting him every day, and that comfort is there. Then
Who's your co-driver?
Arjun Dhirendra.
Okay.
He's a gem of a person. I don't imagine myself sitting in the car with anyone else. He's got it all sorted. He's got literally everything sorted. I've
Super.
never, like, he's someone who knows when to push you. He knows when to tell me to back off if I'm going in too hot. But he's someone who's really, he has taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Because rallying is something where all of a sudden, I was a single-seater driver, and then GT cars is always you are driving, and you just don't have anyone sitting next to you. So first, getting used to someone sitting next to you and, giving you calls is also something that takes a lot to get used to. And then relying on calls to drive.
Yeah.
It's not a circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this might sound like a noob question, but is the car manual or automatic
Manual.
in rally?
Yeah.
And the same, it's a manual when you're riding.
LGB,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or else it would have been a bit of a hassle juggling between an automatic and a manual.
No.
Or is it easy?
It's manual.
Okay.
No, it's manual. So initially when I did start driving, it was a task, because then I only knew how to So my journey is not like a lot of other racers. A lot of racers who get into single seaters get in through karting.
Karting, that's the
I
process.
did
Yeah.
not have a karting background. For me, it happened through a talent hunt. So
Okay.
there was no karting background. There was jumping in straight into the LGBF4s, learning how to shift gears over there. And when you learn how to shift gears on a track, you have a lot of markers, like because you know the old
Yeah,
drivers
of
are
course.
shifting, so they tell you that, so you get used to that and that style of driving. So yes, when I did shift to a rally car, which is very very recent, I do sometimes struggle a bit with gears, but then I mean but everything depends on that, right?
Yeah.
So either I have to get it right or I should just leave. So
Sure.
I think I have it pretty sorted now. And then when I did drive the F1600s, that was sequential.
Okay.
So that came across, like I would say the edge pattern is pretty comfortable.
Comfortable.
But when it became sequential, but I think it takes you what, 3 laps to get used to it?
Yeah.
And that's not something which, worries me about racing so much. I have other things that worry me. But I think that is not
Sure.
something that worries me.
Okay. Now, racers
Yeah.
have an on season
Yeah.
and an off season.
Yeah.
What do you do in off season?
Right.
Okay, great. So you're
Yeah.
always associated with automotive in some sense or form.
Yeah. So I think that way India, we were just talking today, and I feel like India, we are blessed to have the way we look at it is that we have a 12-month riding season, which is, I don't know where else in the world do you get a 12-month
Exactly.
riding
Yeah.
season. Over here, we don't have, if it's snowing in Leh, you're riding down south. If it's raining somewhere, you're riding somewhere else. And
Correct.
if it's raining, you're still riding.
Yeah.
You're riding when it's 50 degrees, you're riding when it's 10 degrees. You just have a 12-month riding season.
Yeah. And it's even
So-
lucky for you because if the season starting from May and
Yeah.
ending at around November, December, you're getting some part of winter
Yeah,
that slowly concludes into summer.
exactly.
But you're still getting to ride in good weather, which
Good
will
weather.
obviously turn bad.
Yeah.
But you're still getting some part of good weather.
Yeah. And weather turning bad is also, I think, on a personal note, I can really grumble about how hot it gets because I come from a really cold place, like
Yeah.
at least compared to the temperatures that I'm usually riding in. I mean, 50 degrees, I've never seen 50
Yeah, yeah,
degrees
yeah.
or felt 50 degrees in Dehradun. But
Correct.
I think it is also how you adapt to it.
Sure.
On contrary to what you said, we do leave much earlier.
Yeah.
It's comfortable for us. We've been
Yeah.
doing it. So yeah, we leave earlier and then we ride when the temperatures are low and cool.
Yeah. Like a 4 a.m. start or a 5 a.m. start is super nice.
Yeah, it's the best.
yeah.
I think it will be really, if I can use the term, it will be really stupid on our part to leave late because you're getting into traffic, city traffic, the sun's up, you're just irritable by the time you go. It's time for your breakfast stop, your refuel.
Hectic.
It's hectic. So the maximum amount of distance that you can cover while it's still cool,
Morning.
I think. Morning, yeah.
Yeah. And also with the kind of motorcycle that you ride,
Yeah.
you don't want to get stuck in traffic
Yeah, I don't want to get it stuck in traffic.
because of its proportions, and also the heat starts to pick up because you've got this massive fairing up front as well.
It's the same for everyone. Comment. I'm not getting stuck on that. No, I mean, it's
Anyway,
the same.
I
yeah.
feel that. I
Yeah.
think it's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So let me just backtrack it back to family. As parents are usually worried about what kids do. Where are they going?
Yeah.
Especially if you're on a motorcycle out there, because you're so exposed to the environment, that worry factor will always be slightly high. How has it been for you?
So, Mama rides, right? So he's given everyone a tough time at home. So I think he had to face all of that. And for me, riding was, I'm going with Mama. So
But that's also comforting.
yeah, that is also comforting. So initially, I did all my rides with him, and he was taking permissions, if you call them permissions, because
I'm going with Shriya. More
no,
like,
no, no. It is like Shriya needs exposure.
Nice.
She needs to learn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my family, I don't know how to put this, but touch wood, by the grace of God, I think they are worried and they're worried sick. So one of the reasons, a lot of people ask me that you're so fond of motorcycles. How come it's not racing motorcycles for you and racing cars for you?
Yeah.
I'm fond of cars, but cars are not my heart's calling. I mean, I like racing them, but that's about it. And I look at it. I look at both of them as very different things in my life. But for motorcycles, no, like my family has been very supportive. My grandmom has been very happy about the fact that I ride motorcycles. She loves seeing, like, she'll want me to send her pictures, and she just loves seeing them. And she'll be like, okay, the places that I haven't visited, Shreya's visiting. This Bara Jyotirling, for example. My grandmom would have loved to visit it, but I'm actually visiting it. So I think they're very involved in my life on a day-to-day or hourly basis. Even today, like, they will know what I'm doing, what exactly is happening, and they're very encouraging about it. My mom wants to believe that I've made the house a hotel, but I mean,
Sure.
yeah, but secretly, I think she's quite happy with what I'm doing and living my dream. Like, I wouldn't call it a dream, like I'm living my dream, but I would call it that I'm doing what my heart's calling is. I like riding motorcycles. If I get to do it, so she's happy in that. It's not the same story when it comes to racing, though. About motorcycles, I think I got it very, very easy because Mama knew how to ride and he was riding so often. So initially, my trips were all with him. And then today, he just says that she rides well, she's confident on the road,
It's
there's
okay if
no
she can go out.
problem in her riding style, and she's sensible. So I think if you know, you can show it to your family that you're a safe and a sensible rider. I don't see why there should be a problem.
Do you like riding alone or you like company?
I like company. I
Okay.
am
Any
not
particular reason why?
I mean, I just like company. I've always ridden with company. I don't even picture myself doing a solo ride, if I'm very honest. I know a lot of these riders who just know how to zone out. For me,
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I like having company, like-minded people. You know, you're sharing the road with them. But I wouldn't say I'm selective, but yes, the people I ride with are, I'm very close to them. It's not like, so motorcycle gives you family, right? Motorcycles do that for you. So I ride with people I'm extremely close to, extremely comfortable with, known forever, and then we are just riding together. It takes me a lot to ride with someone new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's always going to be the case because you need to develop that
Yeah.
relationship
Yeah.
with the opposite person.
Yeah, because-
like I ride with very few people because that connection on the road
Yeah.
has. If I'm maintaining a certain speed,
Yeah.
I expect the other motorcyclists to maintain
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
speed, that distance.
Yeah, because I feel like it's not about fast or slow, but I feel like you have a particular riding style.
Yeah.
And the others should be roughly in the same riding style.
Yeah.
Because it's, so if, let's say, if someone rides painfully slow, I'm going to use the word painfully because I feel like there are times when, you know, there are speed limits, but there's a high speed limit as well, right? There's a lower speed limit as well, right? But if someone's riding really so slow, it's unsafe for me to be riding
That's
at
right.
those speeds because my concentration is going to be low. My body is not going to be alert. And, you know, I'll be like, yeah, this is nothing.
Correct.
You know, your body also adapts, even if you don't want to think like that, but you feel that way. So I think it's very wrong on anyone's part to make a rider who is comfortable with the allowed speed limits to ride slower than that, or, you know, push someone to ride really fast. So they should always find their own group, set of
The
people.
sweet spot.
Yeah, the sweet spot. Like people they're comfortable with, who they look forward to. Okay, you're stopping for tea, you're really looking forward to, you know,
Yeah.
chatting with them and telling them, oh, you know, a bird flew across,
Yeah.
or I almost hit something, like dogs, potholes.
Yeah.
We have it all.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Mama. Because I have seen Mama encourage you and be with you almost everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, whatever I am today, be it riding, be it racing, be it even if I'm a happy-go-lucky person, everything is attached to that one man. Like,
Yeah.
he's brought me up.
Yeah.
So my mom got divorced when I was very young, and that day he's like,
I'll take care.
I don't even think he ever said that. We've never had this conversation, but that's just the vibe. Like, he's brought me up. So, not just riding, be it shooting, riding, racing. I think everything. He is my life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think
and
our
he's been
lives are-
around like
Yeah, yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Like whenever I see Shriya, I'm like, where is Mama? Mama's gonna be somewhere
Yeah,
around here.
he is.
Yeah.
So
this
I
is
was
one of the
trying
very few days when Mama's not there.
Because Eske is there.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So it's great,
So
yeah.
it's like I'm
Because
still
great to have
riding with
support like
family.
this.
Yeah. So like I am what I am because of the support system I have.
Yeah.
My family is a huge support system. My friends, touch wood, I've been blessed with friends who they know exactly when to be there for me, when to encourage me, when to clip my wings when I'm getting too
Sure.
big for myself.
Nice.
Um and all the riders, I mean the community, everything is, it's just, I've just been really really blessed. Sometimes I have to think about it, like in a conversation like this, or when you're getting interviewed and they're like, so what's something that you really dislike, and I'm like, dislike sounds like exciting, but I don't have any of that,
Right.
because it's just been such a blessed journey so far, and everything kept working out for himself. But yes, if I am what I am is because of that one man.
That's superb,
Yeah.
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 Acha, tell me one thing. Are you still doing pistol shooting?
No.
Okay. Do you want to get back to it? Do you miss it?
So there was a time in my life when I was academically strong. I
Yeah.
was, what in those days, whatever strong
Yeah.
was defined as, I was really good. But then I started shooting when I was 10, 11, and I was shooting till I was about 18.
Hmm.
Gave it my life, didn't have a plan B. People knew which colleges they wanted to join. I knew which ranges I wanted to go and train at, which coach I wanted to be trained by. And I was doing pretty well for myself. I still have two standing records in my name.
Okay.
One was equaled, I think, in 2018 or something, and one still stands in my name in the Mavlankars.
Hmm.
So I was good at it.
What is that record?
It's a record of sports pistol, .22
Okay.
sports pistol in the GV Mavlankars. So you
Okay.
can Google it.
Okay.
And that still stands. So I created two. I broke the senior one, I equaled the junior one, and the junior one has been equaled again.
Hmm.
So we are three people, I think, who share it now,
Sure.
and the senior one stands.
Hmm.
So, and I was shooting, I was traveling, I was in Germany a lot. I was shooting, I don't know. I don't want to talk about shooting.
That's okay.
But
Okay. But do you miss it?
I want to have no regrets in life.
Okay.
But there's some things which, you're young, you want to experience life differently.
Hmm.
So shooting gave me what it gave me, and
Hmm.
it had reached saturation. I don't
Okay.
know if I miss it or not.
Okay.
I have days when I can't stop regretting that I quit it, but then I don't want to have regrets, right?
Okay.
And then there are days when I'm okay with it, because if I was still shooting, I wouldn't have been this person that I am today. So I think a sport teaches you a lot and changes you in various different ways, which we don't even understand how it does. So I was fortunate enough to do something I really loved for the while that I did it, and I did it well. And then when it stopped going well, I may have become a bit of a coward, and I did run away from it.
Okay.
So the reason I left is that has more to do with whether I miss it or I don't. Is so I left when I think I was in Germany, and I didn't shoot a match very well. It was extremely cold. I couldn't feel my trigger finger anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, so it was a bad match. And the Germans, they're used to, and people from European countries are used to shooting in those weather conditions anyway. I wasn't. And all these are just excuses. But I wasn't. It was a bad match, period. Bad match, came back to India, bad match. And I was always used to a high.
Okay.
So
And you didn't get it.
in a sport, the highs are high, but the lows are
Are really
extremely
low.
low.
Yeah.
And I was 17, and I was like, this is not going to be my story. This is not going to be my story.
Yeah.
And everyone was applying for college. So even I ended up applying for college, and then I took a year's break. So I never really quit. My year's break turned into 2 years. 2 years turned into 3 years, and then I just never went back to it.
Okay.
And in all these years, I've just cleaned my weapon once, and that was hard. Because life was very sorted. There was a plan. I just had to follow it, and then
Sure.
I deviated.
Okay.
And I can give as many excuses today as possible. Um, was I not good enough for it? I think if you work hard, I don't think there's anything that you can't achieve. So I should have worked harder, but we all make mistakes.
It is what it is.
It is
It's
what
okay.
it is.
Yeah. But did you think of shooting as a profession? Like,
Yes.
You did.
Shooting was more of a profession than riding or racing will ever be.
Okay.
Shooting was, there was no plan B. When I say there was no plan B, I really mean it. There was no plan B.
But today, is there a plan B?
Uh, today there are a lot of plans.
Okay.
Plan B, C, D, E, F, and
Okay.
they're all happening at the same
But
time.
is there something that's pulling you?
To do what? Not
To
to
do-
do something or to do
No,
something?
to do something, like as a career choice, for example.
No. Whatever I wanted to do, I'm doing it all.
Okay.
As of today, whatever I wanted to do, be it, then I studied, right? So now I had to use my degree also. So whatever.
Hmm. Use your degree.
Use my degree. I mean, like I said, because shooting was such a, I never thought on those lines. Even when I went to school, I didn't think on those lines. I was good in studies because mom required it. It was a need of the house. It wasn't something that I would have come back home and been like, listen, I didn't do well, and the sky would have come down. So
Correct.
I did well was because of her hard work more than mine.
Sure.
Because she taught me. And
Mummy
she
taught you?
prepared. Yeah, she prepared my notes, and it was as though she attended school all over again, and I had nothing to do with it. That's why I say, like, you see one person, but like there are a lot of people who are associated
Yeah.
in making me who I am today. But then I don't know, I didn't have a plan B. But everything that I want to do today, like if I say, oh, this would have been nice,
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Sure.
So that's why I say there's no plan A. It's not just racing or riding. Everything that I want
So
is happening.
you're open to doing whatever life has for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
I'm open to
That's actually a great
everything.
plan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to this.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind people who are watching this,
Yeah.
if Anushriya's face looks familiar,
Hmm.
it's because she's also been a part of a PowerDrift video in the past.
Yes.
That was the record attempt
Yes.
with the Sportster
Yes.
at the CIT facility in Jaipur.
Yeah.
How was it for you? Working with PowerDrift as a team and just doing the record.
I think the only people who can get me in front of camera without
We.
being miserable and getting me to talk is you guys. And
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then again in Outback as well.
Yeah. Outback as well. Yeah. we
Outback as well. So, because this is my comfort zone. Like I said, I'm surrounded by people I like
Yeah.
and people like me.
Yeah.
But the 24 hours, the Sportster S, absolutely.
Was it hectic for you?
No,
No.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved every part of it. I hope VT and you put something like that again.
Yeah.
We need to put something like that together again.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
again,
break it.
why we break it?
Yeah.
But just I was riding with very big names. I was riding with Vijay sir, and he is massive.
Yeah.
I mean, just riding with him and being doing the same thing as him, I think is great. Shumi, he was an angel. So I think he was mean to everyone, but he's an angel to me. And there are times we're still in touch, and I think we got along really well. So I remember once I was like, I don't want to bend, and he's putting up my boot. I was like, yeah. So I'm like, see, what I told you, right? Somehow I just attract good people.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And then Vijay sir, I've known him since VT, that is.
Yeah.
So I've known VT since what now? No, nearly 10 years. So he's family. And yeah.
That's amazing.
So CIT was extremely special. We did 3,141 kilometers in 24 hours. We had a slight hiccup, but which was sorted in no time. And all our stints went off very well. But something that I took away from that, what people just see is 3,141 kilometers in 24 hours. They don't see the back end planning behind that. And
I wish there was a BTS film for it.
there needs to be. Because, the back end planning was so crazy and so minute. So when I was asked to do this, I never knew that that's the kind of planning that goes into it.
That's right.
How many rotations on the right side of the tire, how many on the left, and everything. So I think that way, the CIT people and the Hero people, they did a lot of back end. We were just sitting on the motorcycle and twisting the throttle. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But from getting us fed to making sure we are going to be fine, to do our next stint, the photographers, your team that were present over there, they are just up for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
And I think the whole team did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So it is not 5 riders. The pictures you see is 5 riders and one motorcycle.
Yeah.
But the larger picture was there were so many people because of whom it actually happened.
You know, when we were planning production as well, I was a part of the production team and I was not a part of
Yeah.
the ride team because Shumi was doing it.
Yeah.
But our story was story.
Yeah.
Production, number of cameras, lights, interview spots, this and that and this and that. But there was a different world that was operating on the track, which was, like you said,
Yeah.
left tire, rotations, X number,
X
right
number.
tire, this thing. 45 minutes, we keep switching. The other rider goes and gets some sleep, there's a massage. So I like to say this, and even with PowerDrift, because people connect with hosts on PowerDrift,
Yeah.
but there's so much that goes behind the scene as well. Like right now, there are 4 people behind the cameras who are
Yeah.
helping this podcast
Yeah.
happen. And I have this one line which I really resonate with. It says, "Teamwork makes the dream work."
True.
And it's so
Absolutely
apt.
true.
Yeah. So, and I know that record attempt was special also because being a part of it, not being a part of it, but just being a part from behind the
Yeah.
scenes and seeing it happen was amazing.
Yeah, that was very special.
Yeah.
On a brand that I love, and just being there around those people, I think that was
That was special.
special. That
Okay.
was something
Super.
very special.
On a final note, PowerDrift has, of course, we have a lot of people who watch PowerDrift enthusiasts, but we also have women riders who get encouraged by our videos and take a liking to riding. I want you to give them a message.
Just to women riders.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure because, and I
Okay.
say this specifically
Yeah.
because they'll connect with you.
Okay.
You ride motorcycles. You ride a big motorcycle.
So, I mean, firstly, a bike or a race car. I think this line has been said so many times, but believe me, it doesn't ask you your gender. The day a bike starts asking you your gender, that day you think like that. But till a bike is not asking you your gender, you're a biker. If you are passionate about riding, I don't see why you shouldn't be on a bike. The size of the bike or the brand is insignificant. I like riding all bikes. I just like riding bikes. I just like changing gears and twisting a throttle. So I think all the women out there, if you like and enjoy bikes, you don't need to ride because it's the new trend. I think if you're going to do it because of that, you're going to hate it. And I'm saying this, and so ride because you want to ride, or ride because it gives you happiness and it is your calm. It does something for you. It changes something inside you. Ride safe because you're important. If whether you want to believe it or not, you're extremely important. And ride safe, go back home, and just make memories and ride. That's
Just
all. Like,
ride.
I mean, yeah, just ride. I mean,
ride.
don't this. Why think about it? Why should I have to encourage you? If you want to do it,
Do it.
do it.
Yeah.
You don't, there can be these quotes you're going to read and everything, quotes about hard work, quotes about this,
Yeah.
quotes about that. And I love quotes, by the way, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
So anyone, let people say whatever.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. If biking gives you happiness, do it. One thing I believe in, people say attract your happiness. I personally believe chase your happiness. You have to chase your happiness with everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a really good message, and I think that's a really
so.
good ending to this podcast as well. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you so much for having
You want to
me.
give? Okay, you're there on Instagram.
Yes.
What's your handle?
Anushriya Gulati. ANUSHRIYAGULATI.
There's no dot, full stop, nothing. Okay, Anushriya Gulati @ on Instagram if you want to
Yes.
follow Anushriya.
Yes.
Thank you so much once again. It was really
Thank
nice
you.
having you. I hope we get to do this in the future and break some
Hope
records
so too.
together as well.
Yes.
All right, see you. Bye.